Hello, welcome to the Dreambubble Spacecast. I am Libet's Delay. I'll be your host today. I have a guest that, if you would like, can you introduce yourself? Oh!
Howdy.
Hi!
It's me, Funk McLovin.
Yeah, that is your...
Big Funky J.
That's your username from how I know you, at least.
Yes. I make video for YouTube.
You do. Can you tell me a little bit about how you first got into Homestuck?
Yeah, my tale begins as a young freshman in high school. Imagine this. And you're really into comics. You really like, X-Men, Green Lantern, and you get into other comics that are free on the internet. And when you're in high school, a lot of your taste is decided not by like what media properties you like, but what media properties you have available to you. Like, I didn't watch SpongeBob growing up. I watched Arthur. I didn't have access to a lot of comics, so instead I read like VG Cats, Sinfest, and Problem Sleuth. And I got into Problem Sleuth, and that finished. And in 2009, 2010, 2011, after I finished Problem Sleuth, I went to Homestuck, and I thought, this is boring. And I left and did not look back. And I only got back into it like 5 years later when the Act 6 was well underway. I think it was during the Omega Pause, one of the pauses, one of the Gigapause or Omega Pause.
Was that the one? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it was like right before like the Caliborn like felt thing where they were kind of like giving. Yes, I was on that same one.
Oh,
yeah.
That was agonizing. That was like, I'm not like I'm not an update reader. I'm an archival reader. Mostly, I would consider myself. But I do remember that moment of being an update reader. That like last gasp of like, okay, is it even possible? Like, Homestuck ending for a long time was like, I just took it for granted, like, no, it's never going to end. It's impossible. It's too big. And then it did end, which is crazy.
Yeah, it was like 2016. They dropped Act 7, and it became an anime. I remember that being like the big, like, oh my god, Homestuck's anime now. We finally did it. Like,
we finally got there.
When we watched the live stream of it, the end of Act 7. It was really emotional because, I mean, for obvious reasons. For me, I was into it since 2015. It was, like you said, I had gotten all the way caught up, and then my first actual update was that stupid fucking felt fight. And then I was seeing kind of like people react to things. And then from there, I was getting the live updates of like the actual like pester logs and people talking about it. Like, update culture was a lot of fun for people who were on Instagram, which was me. But yeah, like I got a group of people together. We sat down, we watched Act 7 playthrough, and it was just a really good,
that sounds fun.
Magical experience. Yes, it was.
Man, now I'm nostalgic. That's crazy. I never had like friends who were into it. All the people who were around me who liked the same shit I liked were like, Homestuck's gay. Which is true, to be fair.
It was gay. So you tell me about your experience. How did it end? What do you remember from the ending?
I remember being mostly on 4chan and Reddit at the time, which is not the usual fandom experience. And they fucking hated the ending. I disagree with that. I loved the ending. I think that the ending, a lot of people are unsatisfied by it because it is not a spectacle on the level of what Homestuck usually delivers. And it is also a delivery of catharsis that doesn't seem like what Homestuck normally delivers. But I really liked it just because it was a piece of catharsis. It was a huge story getting wrapped up with a bow. All of the different story threads kind of coming together into something that ended up being very cohesive. Hussey will always have my respect for actually finishing the damn thing. Because there was a lot going on in his life, and I have a lot of story critiques that I talk about on my Rewriting Homestuck podcast with Janiah Riley, Bucky Grant, et al. But, like, I don't know. I think I was too hard on him. I in these past years, I've just been like, damn, he really fucking did that.
Oh, it's how many times? It's like 10 times larger than like the Bible. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
It's a lot of content, and he was pumping this stuff out like literally daily, like multiple updates a day.
Yeah.
Like that amount of work power. I mean, if he wasn't on drugs, like I don't know how he did.
He was on a little drug called Vriska Circuit.
I love Vriska now as what she represents
as
now.
You should. My goodness.
But I'm so serious because it's like I understand the arguments around her, right? I understand that she's she made some decisions, you know.
She smells bad.
She really does. But you know, what she represents now, and the kind of people that I've met that identify with her, it is so iconic. Like, people want to complain about not having like well-written women in our fiction.
Yeah.
Come on. Look at what we've got over here. It's so good. And that's just my
I agree. Because you're also an Eridan fan, right?
Where'd you get that idea?
My goodness. You called out on your own interview. Hey, can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, this is related to Eridan and Vriska.
Oh.
This is one of my finer moments that I really just it will never leave my head. There was a controversy going on Twitter. Who's worse, Eridan or Vriska? And there were these very passionate people just fucking arguing back and forth about whether Eridan or Vriska was worse.
Mm-hmm.
And so in response to that, I made a video called Who's Worse, Eridan or Vriska? And I made it a premiere, as I'm wont to do.
Mm-hmm.
And before the video even dropped, everyone lost their fucking marbles. They're like, oh my god, he's a Vriska stan. He's probably going to say some horrible things about Eridan. And people were like getting their panties in a twist.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the video, I talk about Vriska and Eridan for about 2 minutes. And then the rest of the runtime, which I think it's like a 20-minute video, is just me talking about a figure called the Piggyback Bandit.
Uh-huh.
And I just think that's pretty funny. And then I did release the actual Who's Worse, Vriska or Eridan on my Patreon for money. I'm sure someone bought it trying to, get to the bottom of that.
Mm-hmm. You know what's really funny?
Go on.
Before interviewing you, I looked through your YouTube a little bit. I was like, okay, that was one of the videos that I watched. And you actually, I had to get a feeling for you. Like, what am I getting into here? And I was so astounded by your. I mean, you said Eridan in the end because he's got a cool cape. Like, I won in that scenario.
Yeah, he's got a cool cape. I can't deny. I mean, Vriska had some good outfits, but like a coat, come on, you can get any coat at like fucking Spirit Halloween or something. Eridan's got a cape.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. Funk McLovin said that Vriska shops at Goodwill. So
no, Vriska would be like, she would have an Etsy store that's like up thrifting. That's her racket. That's what she would do.
She would.
And she would, because like everyone's like, oh, she's a punk rock. Someone the other day was like, we were picking like stands for Vriska, and someone suggested a punk rock song. I was like, absolutely fucking not. You cannot do that. She is a prep. She is a poser that is integral to her character. She is trying desperately to be punk, but she is a prep who plays fucking D&D. She could not be any more nerdy and dorky.
So actually, this is something that's interesting. How do you feel about this phenomenon? I don't know if you see it around you so often, but how many women have been transgendered by Vriska Circuit?
Jesus Christ. See, this is like, I see it as like, okay, you know that meme that's like, it's a little boy, and he's on a road, and the road forks, and on one side of the screen, it's like a beautiful castle with sunshine, and on the other side, it's like an evil dark wizard's tower.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
To me, it's like transgender Homestuck characters. On the left, good side, it's June and Roxy. On the right, evil side, it's Aridin and Vriska. That's the meme. Corny as hell to describe a meme to you guys, but that's what's happening here today. To answer your question, I think a lot of people went in on the Vriska thing. I haven't read it, but I know God Feels by Sarah Zedig has inspired a lot of people to become trans. Just like probably a lot of women out there like getting their shit rocked by a fictional character.
Yeah. It is just, it's like I said, I think it's a phenomenon. I think that she has had such an impact. And I think it's just because she's so fun and well written. I think, like what more is there to say? I maybe that's the Vriska thing, or an Aridin thing as well, because he was obsessed with her. Nobody talks about that. But yeah, I think Vriska good.
Vriska good.
No, it's so serious. Okay. I'm gonna talk to you about my little hyperfixation real quick. So, you know how like Aridin wears around? He's got like that scarf. He's got the fucking stupid ass striped pants, right? These colors, the colors of his scarf, are black, and then Vriska's color. Like, it's his Kismis's thing with Vriska. At the beginning of when we first meet them or whatever, she's already blocked him. She's already like, okay, fuck off. Like, she was sick of his shit. And the reason for that was because he was freaking out and messaging her and like, why aren't you talking to me? Like, and then she was dealing with her arm getting blown off. He was doing that
thing that all girls like, which is, pestering them.
He's like, pay attention to me. And then she was like, oh no. Like, this.
Yeah.
I can't anymore. And fair. Absolutely valid, I think, on her part. I think she's a queen for that. I could go even in more in depth on that. There's more to it. But he was obsessed with her. And I think what we are seeing, and what we were seeing before they wrote him off and whatever, he was doing that thing where he was looking at and admiring her and like, I want to be a woman like she is a woman. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe if he lived longer, he would be a she, is what you're...
Yeah, 100%.
He would have...
We do end up seeing that.
Could transitioning have saved her, folks?
Yes! That is what I'm arguing.
Go tell it on the mountain, my friend. You're onto some shit right now.
I'm being so serious. Like, okay, and then, so like the whole March Aridin, like you've seen that around, like you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, like his man, I'm looking right now at his pants that you're talking about on Google. Mm-hmm. This shit looks like fucking Goober. You know Goober?
From
like
what?
The peanut butter.
Oh my god.
The striped peanut butter. I'm not gonna be able to unsee that. That's funny.
So this
Jesus.
This motherfucker.
Go on. I'm sorry. He's so easy to dunk on.
He is, but I love it. But see, I've got
I love him.
A kind heart and more forgiving than I should be, and whatever. But yeah, so like in the like they were doing that March Aridin thing, they dropped that calendar, and people did not like the way that it looked. There was the gaudy outfit that he was in.
Yeah, the art was I mean, I don't want to diss no artists. I don't want anyone to be like, but I don't know. That one wasn't good. It was pretty bad. Not a great piece of art. Little
more history for you. You were not the only one who thought that. So when this dropped, it was that aspect to it, like this very intense, like, and it's for its own reasons, cool art, but like, it everyone had a lot of the same reaction.
Yeah.
So it was really infamous for that reason. But then to top it off, for maybe discourse purposes, or like it's this horrible outfit, and it just it blew up because then people like you said, you just dunking on him. He's very easy to dunk on. So they put this motherfucker in a skirt, and it just went ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
So then it was
used.
Can't
deny that.
It was used in consecutive years as like a March, like the Eridans, like us, like what we saw it is like, another one of those like fucking middle fingers towards us. March was like, oh my god, this is horrible. Like, for the longest time, it was always used as that. But
it's like a dark month.
So we have it gets better though. We eventually see that I think the original artist ended up being transgender herself, and came out and was like,
nice.
yeah, like. It kind of had more of like a positive connotation because people were then not drawing her in this outfit. They were actual like pretty outfits. We did eventually get like the Pester Quest dresses. We got like just like more positive kind of representation for it, and that ended up being awesome or whatever. And they did end up canonizing it in the comic during the, I think it was like Strife. It was like the Strife like panel. I don't remember the name of it exactly. Where you see the little sprite of her with it on and whatever.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm. I think the one where all the little, they all get to, yeah, I know what you're talking. Mina and mm-hmm. they're like having a clash and a bunch of other trolls show up.
Yes, so we saw it then, and then but in recent years it became more of like a nice, like, oh, actually, I don't know, I think, doesn't that make her more compelling? I don't know. You feed into the other things, it becomes a lot of fun.
I used to not be an Eridan liker, and I'm going to tell you when I came around about it.
Really?
My friend B, a sad clown on Twitter and on Instagram, makes some fucking banging art, and she drew Eridan as like a woman, like you were talking about, a mm-hmm. trans woman, and she was so fine.
She's so fine.
I liked B, and so I was like, I have no choice but to stan. I cannot. I made a hit tweet a long time ago. It was someone had drawn Wolverine as a butch woman, and I made a post that was like, you could like put the crustiest fucking character in front of me, and if you just put the caption as like, this is a butch woman, then I would just immediately love them. Like, you wouldn't have to change anything. You could say Grunkle Stan is a butch woman, and I would immediately fall in love. I'm very easy to please, my friend. But yeah, she made hot Eridan. What can you do? You're swayed by these very animalistic things, like, and I also noticed something in the Eridan community, which is when I had an Eridan episode of HSAU. People were fucking livid because I made Eridan very unpleasant.
Yes, I saw those. They were like, "What did you do to my boy?"
Yeah, like, they were oof. I mean, that was not my intention. My intention was just to be like, well, I made all the characters adults, and I was like, well, if an adult is like, a C fascist, I gotta like take that seriously. And a lot of people were not into that. They thought I was trying to like disparage him in some way. Yeah, that's what happened. I mean, people didn't like it. And then I hope I did him justice. I mean, I gave him like a reason to be so hateful and spiteful and other things in HSAU. But I don't know. I think Eridan, I think all the characters really have the potential to be decent. Like, people have done so much in fan-on with Eridan or Nepeta that, like, even if you don't like how they are in the comic, like, there's a lot of supplemental material now that gives you a lot of stuff to like about them.
And I think that's why he's like such a favorite of mine, and like it's kind of where it stuck, was because like I said, Eridan was not meant to be an important character to this comic.
No.
There's a whole slew of other characters who are more interesting and are more like plot relevant, like just being real, that's just how it's going to go. But when you have, like you said, characters like Nepeta, characters like Eridan, that they died pretty early on. There was a time period in Homestuck that people thought that these characters were meant to come back. There's fan fictions and things like that, and I don't know if like you personally read much of that, but at the time people would like write these fan fictions that were like after the game alternate universe, and everyone's alive, everyone's happy, everyone's going to the coffee shop, So
we love coffee shop AUs, tell me, folks. We love Wattpad coffee shop AUs.
These people who were participating in fandom before everything was like fully updated, this is what the material we were using. And then you have like families who each person would like pick a character. Like you had
Yeah.
yeah.
Ask blogs.
Yes, ask
That kind of
blogs were a
shit.
big part of it.
I got a little scoop for you. I used to be on an Ask blog. I used to voice Bro Strider
Really?
way back in the day.
Like a Homestuck voices thing.
We're not gonna do
No!
that. Yeah, we don't have to. You know, we don't have to.
Wonderful,
We
wonderful.
don't have to cover.
This is
It's
great news.
you know, they say that imagine like you're watching an ASMR video and it's like, you know, ear to ear affirmations, and then you fall asleep and you wake up and you're like, you know, 50 videos deep, and the ASMR video that's playing now is like, you know, yandere wife kidnaps you.
Yeah.
That was the kind of shit that I was doing with Bro. And again, very cringe, very like close to the Yeti microphone whispering stuff. Even talking about it is making my fucking skin crawl. I kind of wish that I did keep some just for the lols, you know, just for the yucks.
Damn, that's crazy. I totally was in there. Wherever any of that was, I was all over it. That stuff was so good.
Whatever that was. My friend, I won't name who it was, but I told him that, and he's like, "Can you record something for me?" And he was like, "Can you have Bro Strider tell me that like I'm a valid trans man?" I was like, "You better believe it." That's like, again, I would never sell out who that was. You know, I try to use my powers for good. I'll put it that way.
Sorry, I didn't mean to detract so bad. But, okay, back to...
All right, back to whatever we're talking about. That now seems stupid.
The supplemental content that we were getting.
Yes.
Because it was what was sustaining the fandom. Like, the fandom was around, and we were still getting pretty frequent updates. But in between that, like, what was keeping people, what everybody else was creating? It was the fan art. It was the fan projects. It was, like, all of that stuff. And even to this day, like, Homestuck 2 was gone for what, like 5 years? 4 years? What kept it to even this point?
I think it was like 3 years. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
But let's be real. Like, if it wasn't for Stuck at Home Con, or if it wasn't for all the content that's already been out here for years and years, we wouldn't have people here.
The main thing sustaining the fandom is, like, I see it as 3 things. The first thing is that it's very accessible. It's a free property. You can just go on the website and look at it. Well, now the website's down, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's for free. Okay, great. You know, you don't have to have a fucking subscription to Hulu to watch it. 2, the advantage is it's very easy to, like, put yourself in the world by making a fan troll or, like, aspecting yourself. And then the third thing is, I don't know what to say, but, like, the kind of shittiness of it, where there's a quote by someone, I don't remember who it was, but it's like, the perfect movie will stay in your head until you leave the theater, but a flawed movie will stay in your head for like years and years. And that's how I kind of feel about Homestuck, is that everyone who has seen it or read it has a problem with it that, like, they just can't get out of their head. Which I think kind of attributes to its staying power. Like, people just want to not fix it, but like just discuss it or analyze it in a way that something that is more polished does not have.
Yeah, I could say that, I mean, confidently, because, I mean, again, going back into the content that I was consuming for Erden, yes, it was the few pester logs that he has, but it was the characterization and the people who were discussing him and the discourse about it and the everything that kind of fed into it on top of that I now have such strong opinions about him, and I see that generally people don't like him. I'm like, okay, like, you motherfuckers get to listen to me. But because I have that passion, and that's personally, like, what's kept me going all of these years. Other people have it for other things. Like, I talk to a group of, like, 25-plus-year-olds or whatever, and they've been into Homestuck just as long as I have, and they have their own things that they fixated on. Like, these guys are like clowns. They're so big into clowns. They have entire conceptualized ideas of what the clown church was like. And look what they did to Gamzee. They fucking hate the epilogues. They fucking hate Homestuck 2.
Yeah.
But they're still here.
I think of all the characters that Hussey kind of didn't like, Gamzee, maybe Nepeta. No, it was definitely Gamzee. Gamzee is like, oof. The fact that he never has like a line after, I want to say, the walk-arounds in Act 6 is like, oh boy, that sucks. You really didn't like that guy.
Oh gosh, I still have it screen capped. I screen capped it like within 25 minutes of Hussey posting it. And he was doing that like on Instagram. There was a randomizer, like it would just randomize whatever Homestuck character. And so he got on, he did it really quick, and it was Gamzee. And he makes like this most disgusted face, and then he fucking moves on.
Yes. That video is in the first meme compilation that I made. That one's fucking amazing.
It's incredible. It's so funny, but it is, and it started so many fights. People were like, "What do you mean?" Yeah. Like,
it's I think it's funny because you know the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff comic. It keeps happening. Mm-hmm. I warned you about stairs.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that is like a prophecy into the rest of Homestuck. Like, shit just keeps happening, but like the things that keep happening are so telegraphed that it's like so fucking predictable. Like, people just keep walking up to the stairs, and you're like, watch out for those stairs, man, and they just fall down them constantly. Vrisk course just keeps happening over and over again. I warned you about Vrisk course, bro. Mm-hmm. Gamzee discourse, Eridan discourse, June discourse, where people are bitching and moaning about, like, I don't actually like June. She's there's no evidence for it in the original story. Shut up! It keeps happening. I warned you about Homestuck, bro. That's like so emblematic of the fan community, in my opinion. It just keeps happening.
Yeah, and I think the term that I like that Metastasis used, it was like it's self-perpetuating, which is a good position for a fandom to be in, and it's really nice because we see that they're dropping these plushies and they're getting filled. They're getting filled within the first like couple days. Like there's money in it still. There's still
you gotta fill a plushie. Otherwise it's just gonna be a flat piece of cloth. So I don't know what you're trying to say there, but.
Mm-hmm. Is this a Bro Strider thing? Are we going back to that?
That's what the kids call a bit. I'm doing a bit.
Yes.
The plushies to me is hilarious too, because I didn't buy the plushies. I prefer like bootleg shit. Mm-hmm. And everyone on Twitter was so down on the plushies. They were like, "Why is his hair cardboard? This sucks. No one buy this." And then the fucking thing was sold out. No, it wasn't sold out. It got funded in like 2 seconds. It was hilarious. It's like the Switch 2 pre-orders. Everyone was freaking out like, no one pre-order this. They're trying to scalp people. Immediately sold out. I think it's very funny how materially outrage does nothing.
Oh, absolutely. No, it just spreads it. Okay, so this gets into the whole Twitter thing, right?
Oh God,
that is funny because I did not hear complaints about the plushies at all. Like the spaces that I'm in, we were excited about it. So Twitter's just like a fucking toxic hellhole.
I think writing off the whole platform is like cliche. So I'm not going to say that all of Twitter sucks, because there are people on there that are like posting fan art and good stuff. Like, there's a couple people who still keep the torch alive. There's Topaz Ice, who is a Russian person. Mm-hmm. There's Gay Velour, I don't know if I'm saying that right, who posts like, little illustrations and such. There's Chumbi. But yeah, a lot of the people on Twitter, it's a platform designed for outrage. So what do you expect? Do you think that you're immune to it just because we're in Homestuck fandom? No, you're on the outrage website. You're gonna get outraged and you're gonna feed into it unintentionally. You're on the outrage website.
I think the thing that's taken me most off guard is watching, because, okay, I come from Instagram. So Instagram was like, literally, when they say family friendly, it's family friendly. There were still things. But
Sure.
It was happy. It was like, oh, all of the good things. Oh, all of the pretty art. The artists were interacting with each other. And there was still, little discourse posts. Like people would do, they'd argue about being banned or pot.
Do you remember the Instagram account?
Yes.
Those people were... I don't know if they post anymore, but like, my God, what a miserable bunch of people. I like laughed at them until they posted like a friend of mine on there, then I was pissed. But I don't know. That turned me off Instagram for a while until someone else, B, was like, "Oh, Instagram's actually good." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
It's that outrage thing. Like, they're sharing it in like their stories, and that's how word gets around, of course. I feel like the one that you're talking about that's the one where they were like reposting like cringy art.
Well, they did a thing which I always love. This happens quite often where it will start out as a cringe account, right? And it will evolve into like, okay, now all you're posting is like weird pornography, and being like, isn't this weird? It's like, my brother in Christ, you're the one posting the fucking pornography now here.
You saved it to your phone, buddy.
Yeah, you had the... I just imagine, they're scrolling, they're like, oh, this would go hard on my cringe account. Then they have to like hold down their thumb on the picture. They have to click like save as, and presumably like, when I save an image on my phone, I'm not deleting that shit. I'm too lazy. So presumably, whoever runs that fucking account just has a bunch of weird shit on their phone, which I think that's like a fun little thought experiment.
But it's what they do.
It's so weird. Like, what? I don't know what possesses someone to just fixate on something like that. It is cringe. It's just not cringe for the reason you thought it is. We're cringing at you, my friends. Anyway, we won't dwell on who should not be discussed for more than 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, that's
month.
fair. I did make it onto that account at one point.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, so I was like, oh,
Badge of
okay,
honor.
cool. But it's funny because like
you made
people
it.
were in the comments and they were like, can you take this down? I really like this artist. Like,
well, that's the thing. Is like, the comments are all like, there's always someone in those comments that's like, I actually like this. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. Oh, geez. Okay. No, but okay. Like, I'm talking about the part of Instagram that was like the artist, but it was also like the roleplay accounts. And I think that's something that
That's
like
huge. Yeah.
I've seen that Twitter allegedly does it. I don't know how big it is anymore.
No,
but
I mean, I see them around, and I see a lot of people typing with quirks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even see them on Tumblr that much anymore. I'm on Tumblr a lot, but the roleplay thing I think is very wholesome. Not wholesome in terms of like, values, but wholesome in terms of like, it's a very pure expression of the fandom.
Yeah. And okay, that's the part that I came from. So I was like, I was in the best parts. But I don't know. It's like when I came from that, and then through doing that, I became an artist. That's like, I mean, I was drawing Aridin all the time. Like this Aridin thing has been going on for years. Like, it's ridiculous. But so I was getting better at art, and I started getting to a point where it was like, okay, I'm like recognizable. I have a style, and I've only gotten better since even then. I started to see like more than where I was at. I started to see like people, arguing. I started to see that like Twitter, was super, super duper vicious. And I remember like we had beef with them even. They were always, like you said, they were just like arguing all the time. And like, can't you guys have fun? Like it's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's what I was saying is like, you're on the Outrage website, and you're not immune to that just because you're in Homestuck. You can be. There's a lot of like, I don't know, left-leaning people who are on Twitter still. Where it's like, okay, I get still wanting to be on Twitter. Maybe you have like a following there. I'm not begrudging anyone who stayed, but like, you're still on the Outrage website, and no, just because you personally are like a hater of Elon Musk or something, it doesn't mean that you're not still on the fucking Outrage website. I don't know how to say it. It's like, people think they're immune to the Twitter thing. They're not immune. They become worse on that website. That's what my video about Twitter was all about.
And I mean, something that I've seen residual, like now that I'm starting to talk to these people, because you know, Blue Sky now is it threw everybody into one place. People who are leaving Twitter, people who are leaving Facebook, you know, for political reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. Blue Sky is funny to me because I don't know if this is universal, but my timeline is like three kinds of posts. Type 1 is like a Democratic senator being like, Orange Man bad. Isn't it horrible that Orange Man bad? The second type of post is like the most hysterical person you've ever seen in your life just freaking out about something. Like totally unhelpful, like we need to boycott breathing because something or other. And then the third type is porn. It's just porn.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's tits.
And it's the porn and tits of people who don't want to be on Twitter.
And you know what? Pretty good, honestly. That whole melting pot, pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
No.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. I won't talk about the porn. I mean, I'm assuming you want to like post this on YouTube, but what I like on Blue Sky is like just a lot of people complain about this, but I kind of find it charming. Just how fucking cringe it is. Like Hank Green is posting on there, like talking about, you know, his shit. Like, everyone buy some socks from my online store. Okay, Hank. All right. I mean, it's so quaint. It's so pleasant to go on there and you see like a post from some idiot being like, "Did you know that there's a website called the Pirate Bay where you can download anything you want? Isn't that amazing? The internet's so cool." And then I'll like log on to Twitter to try to gas up one of my videos, and it'll be like just the most miserable shit ever. And I don't know. Just get off the fucking website. It's horrid.
But you still log in sometimes, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's an addiction.
I'm free.
Clearly.
So, okay, like this is just kind of out of curiosity. Do you feel like you have a lot of overlapping people who follow you on Twitter and then follow you on YouTube? Or do you think like that's kind of like a nice separate type of audience?
No, it's... So I've done a poll about this. I'm glad you asked that. The people who are fans of me on Twitter knew me from the pester logs that I would post.
Okay.
And were often very surprised. They would phrase it like this. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know you were the YouTube guy." So people were... I definitely had a Twitter fandom. Most of my fans are from YouTube because I have a larger following there, you know, 13,000 subscribers versus, you know, I don't know what. I think I had like 8,000 at my peak. I don't know. One of the things I left Twitter was because I was sick of being known as the pester log guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, I just shit them out. I'd clack them out in like 2 minutes and then, you know, post them just because they made people chuckle. And I realized, like, okay, if all you post is like really low effort stuff, like, that's actually not good for you. And so I kind of stopped doing that. I've posted a couple since, but like, you know, it's just not what I'm into anymore. My YouTube is things that right now I'm trying to get away from Homestuck. I'm trying to get more into Undertale and other topics. I'm doing adaptations of Geo's blog right now. And
yeah.
I think that YouTube just gives you more freedom, and also on YouTube you have much less of a chance of getting misconstrued, which means, I don't know, on Twitter I've always brushed up against the fact that like you really do have a very strict character limit, and my thoughts on topics are usually very exhaustive. Like my video on classes are, you know, hours long, and you know, I think that's normal, but there's something that I won't call it intellectualism. I'll call it, like, in a sarcastic way, fandom scholarship. I think it lends itself more on YouTube. On Twitter, I really struggled getting my videos looked at, because the reason I made a Twitter originally was to promote my YouTube, which did not work out whatsoever. It just ended up being its own beast.
And I mean, if you're getting all these people that are following you for like Twitter logs or whatever, the pester logs, then they're not following you for your video content. So then it's kind of like almost a waste of your time in a sense, because you have your art
Yeah.
stuff over here.
Plus what I noticed too is things on Twitter don't leave Twitter. And what I mean by that is I would make a video about something that was happening on Twitter, like the slurs in Homestuck video that I made, which was about people talking about it on Twitter. And what I noticed is, like, outside of Twitter, these topics are not discussed very much. And so I stopped using Twitter as like something to direct where my topics come from. Twitter just is, I don't really know why. It's just so insular as a social media site. Things never leave there, you know? People take screenshots of Tumblr all the time, or people take screenshots of like Instagram pictures or repost things. No one really reposts things from Twitter anymore.
That's right, yeah. I never see any of these Twitter artists. The Twitter artists, to me, are completely, like, I have no idea who any of them are.
Yeah, exactly. The artists that I can think of also have a presence on other sites, like the Gloviz. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Gloviz has a presence on Tumblr. Oso Leon has a presence on Tumblr. He reposts all his stuff elsewhere.
Oh, okay, I know who that one is.
I don't think he likes me, but that's fine. I like his art. We're not gonna worry
I get
about
that all the time. Don't worry.
I like his art. I don't have any beef with him, but I don't know if like it'll piss him off hearing his name in my mouth. But I don't know. I just really wish people would branch out from Twitter. It seems like so many people are just in that little island. Someone I was talking about earlier, Gay Valor, does not have a presence outside of Twitter, and it's like, you know, now that I'm not on Twitter, I just don't see it anymore. It sucks.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I mean, coming into Blue Sky, you know, I'm starting to meet people that like have been in things just as long as I have, you know, and they have, you know, had their ideas, their passions, there's things and stuff that they're working on that was like I didn't know existed before now, and I'm finding out people have beef with me too. That's a whole other thing. I don't even know what that's about, but it's funny.
What's weird about the beef, and maybe this isn't just on Twitter, but like it's always strangers. It's very strange to me. Like it's blindsiding to me because I don't know them. I don't know who the fuck you are, and you have like an idea of me in your head that's like very like not just strangers as in we've never met in real life. Strangers as in, you know, you hating on me is the first post I've ever seen of yours, and I don't know what that is really, but.
Parasocial.
It's kind of it's parasocial. It's weird. Or people assume they know something about you because of I'm someone who takes this shit in stride. Like I don't really give a fuck. But it worries me because like, what if I wasn't? What if I was like actually, you know, kind of sensitive? And I used to be kind of sensitive. So I think about this shit like, you know, what would I do to myself if I read some of the shit that was being posted, not just about me, but like about my friends. I don't know. You gotta be kind of a strong person to be on Twitter, or on the internet in general.
Yeah, that's the part that fucks with me a little bit, to be honest, because it's like I understand the ethics. Like I know, like again, you're seeing me, you're seeing the Eridan thing. You might not know what the fuck that's all about, and if you have a perception of who Eridan really is and the people who like Eridan and how they really are, all of this is, you know, in their heads. They don't have an idea of me. And usually they're wrong, which is really funny, and they're like, oh man, I was really, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, not true.
Yeah, you're just like...
I don't know if you knew about this. There's a little feature on Twitter. It's kind of like a niche thing. I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but there's actually, if you go to someone's profile, you can click on the options of their profile, and there's something called blocking you can do, which means that you actually never have to see their profile ever again. And, you know, it's this kind of like small feature. It's kind of like niche, but if you do that, then like, you know, your problems just kind of go away. It's pretty cool. It's like, you know, like
they took that from you on Twitter.
I know. Now you can see that shit. It's stupid.
That's crazy.
Why did he do that? I like one of the weirdest
because he wanted people to see his posts. Everyone blocked him, and then he was like, "Oh, you can't block me." Anyway, go on.
Can you hear my cat? She wants me to pet her. Chat, should I pet my cat? Or should I leave her
No,
dissatisfied?
pet her, please.
I'm petting her. She's closing her eyes.
Oh.
She's my little angel.
What's her name?
Her name is Pumpkin.
She must be orange then.
Yeah, no, she's a tortoiseshell. She's fucking old as shit. I love her. So what I want to do, one of the questions you asked me, but like in preparation for this, was, what are some of the most memorable projects or creators that inspired you? And I've always wanted to do this. I have a list on my computer called the Homestuck Reading List. Funk McLovin's Homestuck Reading List. And it's not very well updated. The last time I updated it was, let's see here, last year, March. So it's kind of out of date, but I just have a list here of like fan fictions and other projects. And I really want to shout people out because, I don't know, I make YouTube videos, but a lot of my stuff is like derivative and non-fictional. And I think there's a lot of good storytelling in the fandom that I want to shine a light on because, if nothing else, with my large platform, I just want to give light to other people. So,
hell yeah.
Let's see here. First on my list is Spicy Yeti, who is someone who's been contributing to Homestuck for a long time. Made three things that I want to talk about: Jade Root, Top Cat, and a unrelated to Homestuck webcomic called Godhead. Now, these are not safe for work, so just keep that in mind in terms of Spicy Yeti. Another fan fiction is called Loophole on AO3. Have you ever read Loophole? It's like a famous webcomic. It's kind of fucked up. It's like a Pet Stuck AU, which was an older AU. Do you know about Pet Stuck, where the trolls had little tails and shit? I thought that was cute. Loophole is a fucking mindfuck, though. O Pacifica does a lot of Claspecting on Archive of Our Own. That's O Pacifica, like the number 0 Pacifica. There's the there's the MSPFA fan adventure Desynced, DESYNCED. Very good, truly amazing. Carcat Goes to a Convention. That's a classic. There's a video by Mivnall called "This Video is About Dirk Strider." I cannot warn you about that video. Just watch it. It's hilarious. Right now, there's a project called HS Reanimated, which is spearheaded by Crow, who does a lot of work with Sakon. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I know they were involved. I don't want to say like they were responsible for it, but it's called Homestuck Reanimated on YouTube. Detective Pony is very good, and then by the same author of the Detective Pony, there's Theater of Coolty, which is about Dirk, which is a whole video. It's like a puppet show on YouTube about Dirk. Then there's Godfeel's Vast Error. Those are like the two that everyone fucking talks about. Oh, also grimdorks.net. There's a webcomic called Jari by my friend Zara, which is pretty cool. I have more, but I kind of want to make a video about them. Those are just my recommendations that I want to shout out there. Oh yeah, Cool and New webcomic as well. That one's also popular. I haven't read Canwick all the way through, but those are just some shit that I like and things that have inspired me. Especially Theater of Coolty, which is, I don't know, I don't want to say too much, but it's really amazing. It's like nothing has been done like it. It's one of the best fandom pieces I've ever seen, actually.
I need to
also
look at that.
Godhead.
That sounds awesome.
But yeah, that's just some shit that I like. And a lot of people, there was a round of complaining about, fan works a while ago, and I've always wanted to go against that just by spotlighting some of these things.
Really? Yeah, that's what are people's beef with fan works? Is it just because it's free content and it's more content of a thing that you like. How could you not appreciate that?
I've seen people hate on FriendSim 2, and I've seen people hate on Crow Strider AU.
What?
And really? I get it like I don't want to say like you can't criticize these things, but I always wonder like what's the point of what are you trying to get out of it? I don't really know. It just seems mean-spirited to me to like go online and hate on something, especially if it's for free and made by people who like are outsiders to art. I don't know. I don't want to say that you're not allowed to do that shit, but like you're in a fandom that's very small, and it's probably going to get back to the author, and you're going to look like a tool if you complain about this stuff. It just makes me it makes me cringe, and it just makes me like wrinkle my nose whenever I see like hate on this stuff. I'm biased because I did help work on Friend Sim 2. So it might just be me being butt mad about this, being defensive about something I worked on.
Mm-hmm.
And like oftentimes I do agree with the critique. Like someone was like, Friend Sim 2 is like that friend who's too woke, and it's like, yeah, a little bit, but who cares? Don't don't read it. I don't know.
Block them, or what I do. It goes back to that.
Yeah.
There's that button. It's a secret, but
that little button. It's a secret button. It makes your life better. Well, that's the thing. Is people don't want to block people. They just want to bitch. I guess that's all. They just want to bitch, and
what are the ethics
I can't
of
stop
bitching?
The ethics of bitching, as discussed by Aridin. See, Aridin in my head, everyone thinks of the Octopimp voice, like, oh, it's me, Aridin. But I think of Aridin as sounding like Morty from Rick and Morty, but like
what? That's Tavros.
Evil,
Get out of here.
Morty.
Oh, evil Morty, maybe.
So now Tavros to me sounds like who the fuck is that little dweeb? He sounds like Timmy Turner's friend with the braces. What the hell's his name? He's got like a squeaky voice. That's like a deep cut. We're not gonna worry about that.
What is his name? Chaz? Fuck.
Chaz.
I'm really thinking
Chaz, that's probably it. He's like poor,
gosh.
and they're so like cheerful, even though their lives suck, and I like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what's so funny? And this is just to make a comment about it. Is Timmy's the one that got the grandparents and fairy godparents or whatever, and like all his fucking friends living in a fucking trailer is like I don't know. There's more people that are miserable around him, but.
I mean, you gotta understand that Timmy was an average kid that no one understands. His mom and dad and Vicky always giving him commands.
It's hard. It's hard being a kid.
No one understands.
Oh my gosh.
I think Aridin honestly had one of the worst childhoods out of all the Homestuck characters. I mean, he's so put upon, and his life was so tragic.
Wait a minute. I was like, wait, yeah, that's true. You're right. Oh, what the fuck? I got caught.
A fucking mansion with his supportive father.
His father was absent.
Is that true? I thought his dad was like, because he rode around on his dad.
Yes, okay, but like, so there is. You got me pulling up the Aridin discourse, bro. Get out of here.
I picture you pulling up like a big book with Aridin on the cover and his little goober colored pants that he wears.
Oh, jeez. Okay, listen. So yeah, like his dad like left. Just like okay, so there was this stupid fucking thing where you're it's like a hidden thing where you could go find Hussy behind the bushes in one of the games, and you like talk to him or whatever, and he tries to convince you to get Cronus to give him his ghost dad or whatever because they're in the dream bubbles and he's in there. And yeah, like basically Seahorse dad flies off with Hussy and he's just like, bye, fucking never liked you. And Cronus kind of makes a comment that he was like an absent.
I think Aridin made up his backstory to get people to sympathize with him.
You think that's something he'd do?
I think he made that shit up. No, I don't know. I see Aridin, like, I feel like I'm walking on a minefield because
oh, you are?
The reason I like Aridin is because like he sucks. He's a little stinker. He's and I feel like other people like him because like they actually think he did nothing wrong, and they scare me. They're in a different world than I live in. They terrify me. They got on my ass when I posted that Aridin video, like I talked about earlier.
Yeah. Did that? What like kind of comments did you see? Like out of curiosity.
My favorite comment was I had to delete this one because it was so vile. But
really?
It was someone who posted like they implied that I was a child abuser because I didn't sympathize with Aridin.
Okay.
And they were like, so, and to be clear, I don't take this seriously. Like they're probably like very young or something. I'm not trying to call anyone out. What was it? It was like there's a word for people who judge 13-year-olds too harshly for their beliefs, it's called child abusers. And then they went on from there, and I was like, oh my god, how could this be? I just thought he was a funny guy.
So do you think Aridin would have like been on 4chan, or do you think he was more of like a?
Oh no, he was a different kind of. See, there's a he would be on like Kiwi Farms. He would be like making fun of Chris Chan. He would be like, he would be one of those guys who's like, he does the same cringe shit that everyone does. Like, we're gonna make fun of autistic people or whatever. But he would do it and be like, I don't think they should be allowed to breed and shit like that. Like he would go dark with it. Like if he lived longer, he would probably look back on that and just be fucking horrified.
Oh,
he would make it about eugenics or something.
Oh my god!
Again, very dark. Very
crazy.
dark. And I don't think it's like that serious because he's like a fictional man. I think that's funny. I think it's funny to have like a kid who does dumb fucking shit. Because 13 years old is when you should grow out of that kind of thing, that kind of edgelord bullshit. I made him 18, so I made him differently weird. I made him like, racist or fish racist. But I don't know. I have a very low opinion of him just because I think people hate Cronus and Aridin so much because like they know people like him, and he's a very accessible kind of disgusting. Like we all know some fucking kid in your high school who talked about this stuff, or that type.
Oh, absolutely. So like we're going into like the incel kind of angle.
Yeah, he's like, well, I don't think he'd be an incel because he would see that and be like, no, I'm not like you people. I can get bitches, even though he can't.
This is fascinating.
So at least he wouldn't be an incel.
God.
That's not why you called me on this podcast, but there it is.
I like to know. Okay, listen, I like to know, right? Because it's like,
yeah,
damn. Because it gets back into what we were talking about with the supplemental like content. The content that I was consuming was the nice content. It was the he's redeemable, like the Steven Universe.
See,
like
here's my fix-it fic for Aridin. Are you ready?
Am I?
He's going on Kiwi Farms. He's going on like 4chan's B-board. He's like talking about how the West is in decline, and then he sees like a ContraPoints video, and he realizes, oh, the things I believe are stupid and dumb. And he's one of those guys who like does a hard turn into like a bread tube territory, where he's still like the same privileged asshole, but he's like woke now. And that would be
that's a fun
that
way
would be
to
how
go.
he's fixed. And then I picture a fic like this. He meets Pfeffery again, and he's like, hello, Pfeffery. It's me, Aridin. I'm a lot different now. And she's like, oh my god, Aridin, I'm so glad you came around. You used to be really unpleasant. You seem a lot nicer. And he's like, yes, I'm actually, demi-gender, triple sideways bisexual. And Pfeffery's like, oh, that's so cool. And in the fic, it wouldn't be a joke. He would actually, I don't want to make fun of anyone like that, but I think it's funny when people make that change.
Oh,
they're just
like
they just
the
springboard back, yeah. I just think that's hilarious. There are a lot of people in real life who I've met after that transformation, and what I love about those people is they're so open. They're just it's because there's something very humbling about having your own worldview shattered, being like, oh, I believe insane things. It's the same kind of way that people who deconstruct from their religions are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be kind of fun to explore with Aridin, like what changes about a person when his whole worldview shatters and he can't be racist anymore because like he just can't, he doesn't want to be
just make funny
that.
fucking sense.
Yeah, and he does a 180 into something else, and what are the pitfalls of that? What are the funny foibles that you could get into? So that's my Aridin fic idea. Someone else write it. I don't want to.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll take some notes here. I'm obviously working on my own interpretation, my own take on it, and it takes a different little angle, and when it's done and it's good, then I'll share it in a more widely consumable fashion, but we're not there yet. So you yourself, I know that you mentioned like your own adventure. What was it? The Homestuck alternate universe? So how did that come about? What's the, I mean, you mean like outline of like what you think and why?
So when the HS2 came out, I got the same bug up my ass that a lot of other people did, which is like, Homestuck sucks. I could do it better. Meh. So there. And that kind of bug up your ass is like, very creatively rewarding because you get to kind of examine things that you like and try to improve on them. But it's also bad because like it comes from a mean place. And so I tried to make it into something constructive. And what I did was I got together with some friends of mine and we made a podcast kind of discussing Homestuck from a critical angle. Like what was done right, what was done wrong. We talk about like certain unintentional like racial things in there. We talk about certain unintentional like age things, like how Mina is older than Vriska during some parts and it's weird, like their romance. And the conclusion we come to is most of the things that are wrong with Homestuck are wrong because like just someone who wrote it didn't like think it through all the way because, like we said up top, the man was just pumping it out like crazy. He had shit going on in his life. And in that podcast, I think I was kind of harsh on Hussey, which I no longer feel that way. Then I started writing the actual Homestuck rewritten. And what I found was it's very rewarding, and also it helps you understand like the creative process of, original Homestuck. It's like you're walking in the same shoes as Hussey was, kind of. It's like he gave me the first draft and I was doing a second draft and then posting it on YouTube as like a different medium.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it very rewarding. I stopped doing it because just the scope became too fucking huge. But I think I got what I wanted done out of it. But it came from a place of spite, and it turned into something that I think was generally transformative. And it made me think a lot about like adaptations of media in general. And all I really wanted to do was have a piece of work that had June Egbert in it in a way that I liked. Because at the time, June Egbert was like something, the Toblerone Wish was made in, I want to say 2019. So it's been 6 years since the Toblerone Wish, and we still have yet to see June Egbert. We saw a silhouette of what we think is June Egbert as of now in Homestuck 2, but I just really wanted to see June, and because I just had a story to tell about that, because I have had some trans thoughts myself. I'm currently like, I'm one of many people who, I have a lot of gender shit that I'm just not able to activate in my life. I'm kind of like in the closet, but I'm one of the many people who just cannot be who they want to be because of social circumstances.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a dangerous political climate on top of that.
Yeah. I don't mean to get like in my feelings about this shit,
Don't
but
do it.
I just wanted to, I just wanted to see June because June is me at the end of the day. A little trans person who admires her grandma and read Ranma 1/2 and got weird feelings about it and just wants to be someone else and can't. I did that, and by the end of the comic, June is, a woman. Her friends are kind of struggling with it, like Dave is, but I think it's a beautiful story. I'm not going to say, like, it's a masterpiece or anything, because I think I have a lot of problems with my own process, but, like, I told the story I wanted to tell, and it was very rewarding to be able to do that.
That is... Okay, this helps me understand, like, a whole other level of, like, what you were saying earlier. Like, there was the good transgender, and then the bad... like, the meme. Like you said, It's like, over here's the meadow and the castle, and over here's, like, the dark forest. Like,
yeah.
And this is... It's not just you. It's every person who talks about June. Talks about it from, like, such a, like, genuine, like, honest, like... this is like a soulful thing, and my Vriska kitties, my Airden kitties, I'm right there. It's kind of different.
Yeah, I don't mean to disparage anyone, obviously, when I'm talking about like the trans experience, but I kind of see two strains of the trans experience online. The first strand is the trans lesbian, programmer socks cat girls, and that's who
Yeah.
I see as the Vriskas, and that's fine. But that's a very conventional kind of like, not conventional, obviously. That's fucking trans.
That's so messy.
It's one path. It's a path that is available to younger people. It's a path that's available to people who are online, and it's a path that might be available to people who are not able to transition in their real lives and are trying to make an escape into like a world where they can be something more idealized. Um, and I see another path is basically people who are more kind of ground down by life, where I'll put it this way. I came out of the closet in, I want to say like 2020, and I went straight back into the closet because, like, due to my circumstance, I can't take hormones. I can't, I don't want to do vocal training, and I don't really feel like dressing differently because of my job and all of these other factors. And it just feels disingenuous to me to claim some kind of identity when I can't do that. I don't know. There's something in my head won't let me like disconnect in that way where I can like, transition online but not in real life or something. And I guess it's something that's more born out of like a more complicated relationship where you can't really transition, or you're kind of stuck as who you are, or maybe like myself, you want a type of transition that doesn't really look like taking hormones or having surgery or whatever. But a lot of people have a really tough time with it. And June Egbert, I think, is someone who is very oblivious and kind of doesn't really introspect a lot. And she appeals to people like me because she's more, I don't want to say real. I don't want to disparage anyone. All the fucking programmer sock cat girls, I love them 100%. It's just that's not what I am able to do.
Yeah. So, obviously, this is something that's like pretty close to home. You're speaking to your experience. I don't think you're doing anything wrong by obviously doing that. And this is something that, I mean, like I said, we're seeing this in the political climate. This is becoming like a huge. It's putting more eyes on it, and it's not just doing that. It's demonizing it on top of it. Like, I mean, how many women do we see online that are getting like pedo jacketed and shit like that? Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
What amazes me is how often it happens, how often it gets debunked, but then how often people do it anyway. And what I think you're talking about, to be clear, is when someone's basically reputation is defamed for spurious reasons, which just funny. It always seems to happen to like trans people. I'll just say that much.
Yes.
Funny how that works. And it always fucking happens where it's, a lot of it is infighting. A really surprising amount of it just comes from infighting. Trans people yelling at other trans people. I remember Kefalls, I don't know if you remember this, but Kefalls was a Twitch streamer who went against Kiwi Farms. And Kiwi Farms is obviously a horrible website that just is basically devoted to bullying.
Mm-hmm. Like a lol
that's
cow
the website
type of,
the lol cow thing.
Yeah.
And trying to take down Kiwi Farms by attacking their internet provider is very good. I think it's a net good. And Kiwi Farms came out and said, like, all these spurious things, like Kefalls was like mixing moonshine estrogen for like children or trying to groom them. Things that were clearly not true to a point that was like absurd. What's funny is the discussion I saw around this was trans people saying like, well, I'm not a friend to Kefalls, but I think we should take down Kiwi Farms. It's like, I mean, Kefalls got shit on her for going against Kiwi Farms. That's all I can say. and people on the left were still against her, even if they were against kiwi farms, which is amazing to me. It's like, I'm sure, if I talk about this, someone in the comments of your video will be like, well, Keffels actually did X, Y, and Z. It's like, I don't care. I don't care what she did. She was going against kiwi farms. That is the only thing that matters in that fight, was she was going against someone who is for bullying or for, just the most heinous shit you've ever heard of. It doesn't matter what she did. It doesn't matter if she's fucking mixing estrogen moonshine. It doesn't matter X, Y, Z. This campaign does not require a leader who is completely flawless. We're trying to take down kiwi farms. And Kiwi Farms' domain did get taken away in the end, so it was a success. I don't mean to bitch and piss and moan about this one thing, but like, Keffels' reputation was fucking destroyed by Kiwi Farms, and it worked on leftists. So why does that keep happening? It's discouraging.
I'm trying to like not not get into things that I don't know the full context of, and I'm sure that there's like statistics and things like that. So I'm trying to avoid that kind of talk. But what I see, and this is somebody who's like, I don't know what the fuck people are doing on kiwi farms. I don't know what the fuck people are doing on lolcow. I do know that like really fucking weird people come from those places, like the people that start shit with me, people that like, those people are so obsessed about like, drama, things like that, from these kinds of things. As an outsider, all I'm seeing is that these creators that I really love, like comes to mind, there is like numerous others. I mean, like, even if you want to talk about it, in Homestuck even.
Yeah, that's a oh my god, that still makes me kind of sick to my stomach, because like, I'm not gonna lie, that's something I almost like kind of fell into, like the like you say, or like I said about Keffels, trying to in some way improve things. And if you disagree or agree, I don't know, the fact of the matter is she got harassed off the fucking platform.
Yes.
And she's someone who I think kind of is able to bounce back from that, maybe. But like, again, like I said earlier about a different topic, like, what if she wasn't? What if what if they bullied her so bad that something horrible happened? That's not good. You shouldn't have to ask those questions. Again, I don't want to like opine about, because I don't know her personally, and there are other factors. I don't know. It's like people get in a moral crusade, and again, I was someone who like unintentionally fell for some of that.
Well, because even like there was memes and stuff going around about it, even on Instagram. Like, it was a vicious campaign against this woman. Like, what was the reason? And like, I guess, yeah, like you said, people, they'll have it. They'll be like, oh, remember when they did this? And they fucking think about it all the time. It's the only thing that they care about. This person's a person. If you want to give her an opportunity to grow,
yeah.
like, you need, like, even if you have like these criticisms, like, you need to let people be, like, why is it this expectation that every single trans woman has to be so morally pure and perfect, and everybody else could get away with it? Like, we literally have a fucking like convicted rapist in office right now, and you're mad about what this fucking woman's doing over here. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It is so baffling.
The pattern that I see, Homestuck is mainly like a leftist property. I think if you're not a leftist, you kind of get yelled at a little bit.
Well, it doesn't.
And so
Homestuck just feels so gay. Like, how are you?
Yeah.
But I get it. Yeah, sure. Go on.
It's very anti-liberal, so it kind of lends itself to that kind of thing. And it's not like anti-liberal in like a sophisticated way. So I'm not saying like it's perfect, but what I mean is, even in a leftist space, here's what happened. I think with people had grievances of a like critique variety, which I think is kind of like, okay, sure, you can. But then there was another group of like really bad faith people who were just like, we want to basically disappear. Those two groups got kind of lumped together. And I think there's this kind of thing that happens where you're getting so much hate that everything bad about you looks like hate, and it kind of lumps all together in your head. And it makes people who are onlookers like wonder what the fuck is going on. And it kind of makes you into a hysterical person. Like, it makes you crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
like it drives you, not makes you crazy, like, you know, makes you insane. It makes you like afraid and terrified at all times. So you have these onlookers who are like, well, what's her problem? And it just exacerbates this issue. It's like, and it becomes very hard to differentiate between good faith and bad faith. That was my experience as like an onlooker, but in retrospect, I feel bad for like even having those critiques, I guess. Like, it wasn't the right time and place to like voice them. I still feel kind of guilty about that, even though, you know, I was a nobody back then. You weren't
seeing the scope of it at the time either.
No.
The scope of it was kind of like in hindsight. And I think it was a perfect storm in a way too, because this was also around the time that COVID happened. So this was 2020, you know, and we just finished, and we were, you know, and, you know, these people who had grievances about and everything, like, they were still here. So, like, when they're hearing about Homestuck, they're like, oh yeah, this new, how the fuck are they working with this? Like, people still had those critiques. Those things didn't go away. So when it became like, oh, this is the person responsible for all of it, and we have all these people who are coming in, they're not going to school anymore, you know, because everybody was inside. It imploded. It was completely unfair, and it was unacceptable behavior. But it was also like not something that if those situations hadn't been in place, it wouldn't have happened, or you ideally wouldn't have, you know, at least not to the extent that it did. So I don't know. It kind of puts us in this weird position where, like, Homestuck, the writers and everything like that, they're going to have this weird relationship with the fandom. And I think that this is being perpetuated by the kind of people and stuff, and like how Twitter's been working lately. That it's like even creators like yourself, like Bavisi, like I've seen some of it, not as to the extent that you guys have for sure. It just seems like that's the acceptable behavior now.
I'm not gonna get into like, you know, the shit that happened to me because you know,
and yeah, we could even cut this out if it's.
But like, no, you don't have to cut it out. There are so many things that are like, the thing that gets me is, no matter what you say, it's just gonna piss people off more.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you say the truth, which is like, you know, this is all lies, this is all based on like spurious bullshit, this is all, you know, made up crap, all it does is add fuel to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've chosen to do is just say nothing.
That's the only answer.
I think that it's the only answer, but it's also very dissatisfying because, I don't know, it's a situation where no one will ever really know your story because it's being written by strangers who think they know you or think they know something about you or have been fooled into believing something about you, or, you know, fooled into a moral crusade or something, or I don't know. It's distressing because, I mean, it works. Is at the end of the day, this bullying shit works. It's just and I don't really know what the answer is other than, you know, don't bother playing the game in the first place, and that's why I kind of. I don't know. I say I've left Twitter, but I still log in from time to time just because of like habit. And it's really bad for me, and it just feels like it really truly does feel like a drug addiction. I've been addicted to cocaine. I was addicted I don't know, a year and a half. And the only reason I was able to quit was because I didn't know where to get more. I didn't know where the dealer was. And I don't know if that's too personal, but
no, not at all. Yeah, I mean, of course,
it's not
any
like
of
a
this
secret. I don't know. It was it feels a lot like being addicted to coke, of like just this machine in your head that just makes constant excuses for why you should be able to get more or something. And that's not really fun to admit. Like, it's very shameful to me that I'm addicted to a social media website. Like, that doesn't feel good. Admitting that just makes you feel pathetic and kind of stupid. But I think it's the case for a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, I'm dealing with it. I'm not like trying to bitch and moan and be like, oh, I'm.
So this is something that kind of gets into like what I think the solutions are, and I mean, like what they recommend, and like when you're dealing with addiction and stuff is like the only way you can get really out of it is if you have like people around you who like love you, you know, like you're around people who you're having fun with, you're having like other experiences, you're giving your brain stimulation, you know, and it's I could see right now that yeah, it's definitely, and it's not just you, like you said, it's I think a lot of people are struggling with this because it's literally your brain is being hacked. Let's be honest. Like these people who put together these websites and stuff, they have pinpointed what keeps you on the website. They literally down to like that's what I work in. I work in as a in ads, funny enough. So we do that. We do that like what keeps you engaged? What keeps you on the website? What keeps you spending money? What is going to make you sign up for this thing? And they figured it out, and now they're coming up with tools that know like that even further. You have TikTok, the algorithm there. The United States is trying to get that shit from China because they realize how powerful it is. Because once they fucking figure you out and like, then they could just exploit you, you know. So
yeah, there's a lot of reading that you could do. There's this is so fucking pretentious, but the Simulacra and Simulation by Jean Baudrillard, who's a French philosopher, he talks about this. He talks about the screen, and he's talking about the screen in terms of media of that time, like the television and whatnot. But I think the screen represents this world that we occupy, which is the internet, or Twitter, or Facebook, or whatever your social media of choice is, that is more real than reality. Before I was talking about how a lot of trans women, they transition online, and that is where, because they can't transition in real life, they have more invested online than they have invested in the real world. And I don't think that just goes for trans people. I think that now most people's main friend groups are online. Most people's main support network is online. You know, people asking, hey, I need $200 for rent. Can you help me? Posting on Twitter. You know, they're posting commission sheets on Twitter. They are posting their videos to Instagram. And there's an element of, like, reality that goes away when you do that. When your personality is exposed only on these screens. I don't remember if it's Baudrillard or who the hell's that other French guy? But they came up with the idea of the Panopticon. This idea of a prison where you never know if you're being watched or not. Imagine you're at work and there is a camera bearing down on you. Now, you don't know if anyone's watching that camera or if they're even going to look at the footage or how long they keep it for. But you're going to adjust your own behavior based on the fact that you might be being watched. And when you're on the internet, when you're filming yourself constantly, when you're making content that is, you know, your face towards the camera, when you're posting your opinions on Homestuck constantly online, you have this camera on you at all times. Maybe not a literal camera, maybe it's, you know, the keyboard, maybe it's something else. But you are aware that you are being watched. And you become afraid of what that could mean. And you also begin to want to turn the camera upon other people. You want to get them. You want them to be watched. You want them to be caught in the act. And there's another element where if it isn't posted online, it's not real. There's an ancient proverb on the internet, pics or it didn't happen. I think now that is essentially the rule of reality. I don't mean to get too fucking up my ass about philosophy here, but there's a very real sense where, you know, I would rather some days, I would rather scroll on Twitter, scroll on Tumblr, scroll on YouTube than go out and have a party with my coworkers. I could go out and get drunk at a bar and do karaoke. That sounds fun, but what really sounds fun is scrolling. And that's not good. If scrolling is your real life, then you're not going to be able to live a real life. You're going to, you know, sit around on your ass all day. And I think what worries me is that a lot of people who grow up in small towns who don't have a bar to go to or are too young to go to the bar or they're not in college or something, all they have to turn to for entertainment is the screen, is the camera, is this Panopticon, and it's ruining them, and it's very worrisome. And I guess to summarize, our parents were right when they were saying you're always on that phone. You're always on that phone. They were correct, and we didn't listen.
And now they're on the phone.
And now they're all on the fucking phone too. My fucking parents always show me when I go over to their house. I visit them frequently. And they're always showing me, like, you know, Stephen Colbert monologues on YouTube. I'm like, oh my god. The screen got them.
So, okay, this is something that I've talked to people outside of the US about. And I've kind of pinpointed it. And it's the fact that the United States, like, we don't... Like, for one, we have all these, like, long stretches of road. Like, other countries, a lot more condensed. They have, like, normal cities. They have things, most things are pretty walkable. Like, but we have, you know, the US is, like, it's long stretches of roads and road trips and, like, dude, we have 3 different time zones. I told my fucking French friend that. They're like, no way, you're lying to me. What do you, to me, it's normal, you know? So
yeah,
it's
we were
like...
talking about that, you know, we had a miscommunication about time zones when we were setting this shit up. That's,
yeah. And that just happens. Like, you don't think about it, but it's just like, that's just the kind of place that we live in. And now we're also seeing, on top of this, a loss of, they call it third places, I think, or third spaces. And it's like, okay, so you have your home, and you're at home, and you go to work. That's your second place. And then a third place, and what most other people have, they'll go to a bar afterwards. They'll go to, like, some other place to, like, for the social aspect of things. And we don't really have that. For one, because it's capitalized on. So, like, I mean, like, the bar is one option. Like, I mean, you can't even go out for drinks with friends without everything costing, like, $15, like, just a drink. By the end of the night, you're spending $200+, and that's just to hang out. I mean, yeah, and there's the library, but that's only open certain times of day because they don't want homeless people being in there, you know? Like, it's these issues that are coming from, and it's always capitalism. You know, it's like, it's always it's always because there's an incentive of money to do these things. So, and that makes it more difficult because, like you said, it's like, I mean, like, these kids, for example, like, I had talked to Uncanny Corey, and we were talking about how there's no spaces online for kids anymore. And I think that started even during, I would say, my generation. You might be a little bit older than me. Like, there's no spaces anymore for kids to go be them safe online. They're in the same fucking group as us. They're on Twitter.
There's no Club Penguin. There's
no Club Penguin anymore. We're like, the online, like, platforms are, I mean, they're just like family-friendly, homogenous, like, everything in one place, like...
Remember Amino? That was like a little...
Yes!
That was a little space for kids to go. I don't know.
Okay, I have a little story about Amino. That was when I tried to get into, like, the Hitalia, like, kind of side of things. Yeah. I was going for, like, the roleplay account. I started a fucking revolution over there because, like, the fucking mods who were 17 were fucking bullying the 14-year-olds, and I was like, I'm not gonna stand for this, and it was still stupid.
See, that they need a little space like that. I think what they should do is they should have a site like Amino. So I have some pretty, like, archaic, draconian rules that I think should be implemented on children. I think that children should have an internet curfew, and that curfew should end at 6 p.m. They're only allowed to get on the internet until 6 p.m. And then they gotta leave. And that's it. If you're under... And this like, ends only when you're 21, like drinking. You still gotta do it until you're 21. That's my second rule. The third rule is, if you're under 21, you're not allowed to say anything online either. You have to be completely silent. If you're under 21, then you're not allowed to talk on, like, you know, you can't post a comment on YouTube, you can't post on Twitter. You can have an account and retweet things, I guess, but, like, you can't say anything. You can lie about your age, and I think it's good to start encouraging,
Let's go back to that.
You know, to like, go on a pirate website or something, or, like, lying about your age is an age-old tradition that we need to basically get kids like more computer literate before they start posting on these fucking websites. They have to find the workarounds first. That's what I think. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, okay, so here was the difference between like when you and I were online versus what these kids were doing. Because these kids were given iPads before they even went to school, but we had computer classes. Like they used to teach us like computer literacy. So they're not getting that anymore.
We had cool math games. We had like typing, you know. We had Bookworm teaches typing.
Yes. They don't have that. They don't even actually know how to use computers anymore.
I find that very distressing because, well, I don't know if that's like entirely true. However, I think it's mostly true. What I have noticed, I don't know if this is like, if I'm phrasing this in like a politically correct sense, but I think women have a better bearing on the internet than men do now. Because men, here's what men do on the internet. And I'm using men as like a pejorative, like picture like, you know, your coworker. Here's what they do. They go on their phone, they fire off a couple tweets, they get pissed off at something, and then they like look up the weirdest pornography you've ever seen, and that's it. That's all they really need to do. Like, but women, here's what they do on the internet. They make little fucking AMVs, they make fan cams. They're going on TikTok, like, you know, they have a ring light. They have, like, you know, makeup tutorials. They have, like, sponsorship deals. Women are more involved in the internet than they ever have been, whereas men are just sitting around fucking firing off the most idiotic shit you've ever seen in your life. Women are going online. Like, look at the next time you're on TikTok, think about this. When a guy shoots a TikTok, they're just, like, opening their phone looking at the camera. When a woman shoots a TikTok, it's in front of a camera that's professional. It's in front of a ring light. She's made up. She's ready to go. Even if it looks off the cuff, it's probably not. She's doing it. She's out there downloading Sony Vegas Pro. She's figuring out, like, you know, the canvas size she needs to make certain graphics. She's downloading, you know, one of those automatic caption makers. Women are, like, innovating in the space, and I'm here for it. That we need to push out the men online, I think. That's my theory, anyway.
What do you feel about... Like, did you eventually got off of 4chan, right? Like, you... I mean,
No, I haven't...
Really.
I remember what got me off it was, I used to be like, you know, oh, you know, they're racist on B, but they would never be racist on, like, Moo or X, where I went. And I remember what made me change my mind was, on X, they started having threads about, like, the West and Christianity, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. So I stopped using it. Probably when I was before 18, I was just sick of it.
And you said you
I've gotten on a couple times, but I moved to Reddit because I knew I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm actually in the 14-year club on Reddit. No big deal. I have over 10,000 comment karma.
Oh, bro.
Not to brag.
This guy stinks!
Tip your fedora at me?
Yeah. Adjust my glasses and they turn white and shiny like an anime. But, yeah, I got on Reddit because it was just like a place to, it was Reddit and Tumblr for a long time. Because Tumblr and Reddit both, I don't know, just had the posts I wanted to see, basically like fan art, and I was already using them. Eventually I got a Twitter. So here's my story with Twitter. My ex had a Twitter, my ex-wife, for like modeling. And she would always tell me like, oh, you need to get into Twitter because, like, you know, you can help me like do promo. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to post on Twitter? I'm just like some guy. And she was always trying to get me to do it. And then we broke up. And then I got a Twitter to promote my YouTube, which I started after we broke up. And so that's kind of a weird. She kept pestering me to do it, and then I only did it after she left. Total brainworms. Shout out to my ex. She was, you know, shit ended weird, but, you know, if you're listening to this, I hope you're doing well.
I used to be married, too.
Pretty gay.
And then, you know, afterwards, that's where I pumped everything out. I was like, oh, now I'm a artistic person.
Yeah, gotta find something to do.
Yeah. But, But yeah, okay. That's that itself answers some questions for me. See, that's kind of like where you get more your analytical like stuff that you do for your YouTube. You were kind of seeing like, okay, so here,
Yeah.
let me
Tumblr
give you,
and
give you
Reddit are
some
great
context.
for that.
The first video that I've watched from you, and I believe it may have been at SockCon or maybe like afterwards, and then I learned about SockCon through that. I don't know, but it was the Trolls Biology video that you had done, and I remember being so enraptured because like there wasn't YouTube comment or like content for Homestuck.
Yeah.
Like a little bit, but like
I
not
didn't
like
intend
that.
to be a Homestuck YouTuber at all.
And you said you're trying to get away with it, like from it now.
Yeah. I mean, I keep getting. Here's what happened. The first video I ever made was of Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That got like 10,000 views. I was like, okay, cool. And then I had two more planned. One was about Vriska, which is from Homestuck, which I liked, and one was about Shrek, and it was gonna go into Shrek lore. And the Vriska one took off in a way that I was just fucking astonished by. And people loved it, and I think it was because there was no Homestuck media on YouTube at the time. So I was like, alright, I'm all in on Homestuck, and here I am fucking 5 years later. Oh, we got a hot rod out there. Oh, holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Did you hear that?
It was.
Oh man, that
wonderful.
guy was so cool.
I bet he's
Oh
got
man,
huge
I wish I was
balls.
like him. I bet, I bet he drives a big motorcycle so he can actually feel something between his legs.
Damn.
Anyway.
We're bullying some random. But I don't know, they're fucking making
That's probably
sounds.
Eridan out there.
Oh my gosh! Get off.
Just kidding.
But yeah, sorry. I'm like, my room's starting to get hot, so I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
slowing down, I'm winding down. Let me see, do I got anything else I wanted to ask more about? You do. Oh! You also make music.
I do?
Do you? Like, wait, like, okay, maybe, am I wrong? Okay.
No, I'm fucking with you.
Okay, yeah, tell me more about that.
So, oh god, this is embarrassing. I went to a school for music. I got a 4-year degree in jazz composition from a state university. And I thought about going back for my master's, but I really don't like school. So my goal in life was to become a musician professionally. I was going to do like, commercial music or film scores. And I got trained to do that. I play the piano. And I just couldn't hack it. And when I say that, it's like... I heard someone say when I was younger, if you love what you do, you won't work a day in your life, which is the worst lie I've ever been told. Because when I started trying to hustle and trying to like get my music out there, I became so fucking miserable that I could not do anything. Just being ground into the dust by having to monetize your hobby is horrible. And so I went back, I was like, alright, well, fuck this. I'm gonna go back to doing it for fun. And that's been infinitely more rewarding. And it's a little, shitty to admit, like, I basically got a useless degree. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't regret it because I really love music, and it's probably... If I had a choice to be like what I could become famous for, it would be for my music. I used to release an album per year, and I used to do a lot more Homestuck fan music. I've kind of stopped doing it lately because, like, just there's no avenue for it. Like, if I post it to YouTube, no one looks at it. And if I post it to Bandcamp, then no one looks at it. It's just depressing. It's like, no one gives a fuck about music. Because they can just get it online from, like, a royalty-free website if they need it that bad. It sucks. It's a very hard... if I could go back in time, I would tell myself, get that writing degree instead, like your parents did. But I really think that, like, I don't know, I'm a good writer without that. I've had other training in that regard.
Yeah. So if you could work on your music now, you would.
Well, I do. I still do. I'm making wizard raps. You want to hear one? All right, here. Hang on. Whole composing folder on this computer. Here I go.
Oh. Black chicks got in its
Dabalina. Oh, the great Dabalina.
I heard this.
Dabalina,
I
you're
heard this
a
on your
fraud.
fucking
You can
Tumblr.
say it's odd the way that you got the peasants fooled. Come down from a tower and then you'll be schooled. Yo, Dabalina, put the grimoire down. We see a jester in a robe, not a mage renowned. Your potion's on layaway. You're huffing on fumes. Your cheap enchantments bore skeletons and their tombs. Showing up in robes from Spirit Halloween. I walk through the dreamscapes. You're a cheap vape fiend. Familiars don't like you. Even the bats know. Yours is a goldfish. That fish is flat. I'm a glyph carving, star chart, and rhyme author. Your ass is stuck with the Harry Potter starter. Your wand's got splinters. My staff splinters planets. You can't cast fireball while I spit volcanic. The great Dabalina, don't make me laugh. Whoever has seen you knows you're all hot gas. You might own a cloak. You might quote a mantra. I'm as hard as oak. You're as flat like old Fanta. Your spells are odd.
I thought
you trip
so.
on the beat. You don't summon gods. You summon defeat.
No, but it's
you rattle
fun.
off
This is
spells
like
a
the-
substitute teacher with a...
I don't know. To me, I think of like the fucking Daves, right? Like this is so Dave core of you.
Oh yeah, it's very. I wrote another one. I haven't done the music for it yet, but this is my computer stopped working, so I was like, what if a wizard's orbs stopped working? I'm a sage in the sage green robe and a hat, knocking beers back from my crystal carafe, casting out spells elegant and eloquent till my orbs went dim. Man, now I'm hella tense. Usually it's glowing like a neon at night, but now it's just a snow globe missing a light. I said, what the thaumaturgic fuck is this shit? But from a twisting mist, I'm dismissed misfit. You get the idea. It's so like...
Strider core.
I listen to a lot of rap, but fundamentally I'm like a lame fucking Jewish kid at heart. So it's like I cannot leverage this in any way other than to be corny as hell.
But it's fun for that reason. I think of fuck. Okay, I couldn't even tell you because it's such a niche guy. But it's like, yeah, it's these just little silly things. Do you know an artist? They are Homestuck. Her name is Luna now, and but she was very popular for being known as Atlas. Do you know what I'm talking about? And so there is an album, and it is called Grieving, and this is going to be your homework. Grieving and Growing Up. And this is one of her newer music, but she used to do other songs too, and songs I almost guarantee you've heard before. I'll send them to you too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And,
right now, Michael Guy Bowman's kind of doing a renaissance. He released a bunch of like original shit.
Dude, that's awesome.
Shout out to the Homestuck Music Wiki, which is one of the greatest wikis of all time.
Do they have everything archived?
Well, they have they're a wiki, so they just have information, but like they have really good like, I don't know, you could it's one of those wikis you can just be on for fucking hours, like the Elder Scrolls wiki or something. I've thought of making like a Homestuck music video, not a music video, but like a video about music for a long time. I don't really know what I'd do though. Plus right now I'm all in on, I got a Papyrus video coming out this Saturday.
Yes, it will be released by the time we get this out.
It's about how Papyrus is a Sigma male. Everyone go and listen to Atlas Grieving and Growing Up official album stream. This looks very Frutgear Ario. Or Frutiger Ario, or however you say that.
Fugger Arrow. I know what you're talking about.
Oh fuck, I really butchered that one.
Frutiger
Rats.
Arrow? Question mark? Okay, I sent you...
Fruit Juice Ario.
Listen to the Atlas Valentine. He's got a couple other songs that are pretty popular, but yeah.
Yeah.
I am. Thank you for sticking with me. We did the 2 hours for like the actual podcast, and we had another 30 minutes here. So
Yeah, you
I
can
appreciate.
cut that up however you want. Really, I don't really give a fuck. You can use everything because we had for the viewers at home, we had like a fuck up where I don't know, maybe release that like as a blooper or something. I don't know. We had like I think most of it we talked about like
Conversation's just been moving.
yeah, you know,
We talked about
you can
different things
find
the
out
second
on the delay Patreon, I guess. I don't know if that exists.
I'm not making money off this. Are you crazy? I don't know. Maybe people like what we're doing. We'll see. I'm doing this as a passion project.
Your little project is pretty cool. I think so for I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah?
Before I go, because you know an interview is a fundamentally selfish and egotistical thing where you bring someone on and they get to talk about themselves. It's like a dream. A lot of people, myself included, pretend to have interviews in their cars and shit. It's a very, like, you know, self-indulgent matter. And so I wanted to ask you a question to end this out, to turn the attention back upon you and your own wisdom. And it is a question that I ask everybody, and I don't want you to feel put on the spot by it, because it's very deep and philosophical. Who would win in a fight, astronauts or cavemen?
Okay. Are we talking like futuristic human astronauts, and then these cavemen are just?
No,
like,
we're
just
talking like Neil Armstrong in the suit versus cavemen.
Astronauts are fucking nerds. They're gonna lose.
Yeah, but they got a lot of training.
Yeah, but they don't got beef.
Okay, we're going with cavemen. Here's my actual question, my non-joke question. What is your wisdom?
What is my wisdom? And this is just in a broad sense.
I ask a lot of people, what is your wisdom? And they usually come up with something I think is actually... Most people have something within them that is very intelligent and interesting. You know, some people tell me, like, you know, always get 8 hours of sleep, which I think is good advice. Or they tell me something very deep about their life.
Okay. So, ba. Do you know what I'm referencing?
The dog of wisdom?
Yes. But okay. So I would say, what the reason I'm doing all of this in the first place, right, is that I want to walk a mile in other people's shoes. You know, I have this fascination with Homestuck. It's not a mystery. I grew up with it quite literally. It started when I was like 16. I've dated people because of Homestuck. I have like multiple times fallen in love. It's crazy. And like,
aww,
it means so much to me.
Yay.
It is, and it's really, and you know, I'm but I'm still Aaron, so it's like it fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But
I'm not gonna hold that against you.
I care so much about this property and the people that made it. And the people who are continuing to make it. And I just want to encourage that, and I guess mostly remind people that like, hey, the people who are in this are humans, and maybe we're not perfect humans all the time. I guess that's the biggest thing, is that like people...
I mean, I'm pretty perfect.
People don't, but they don't have to be. They don't have to be like you, okay? Like they can be
No, exactly.
a little messy, and
like
but
Vriska or Aridin.
There's still value in everybody's life and input and everything like that. So I like things like this. I like having conversations with people because I get to see like a side of them. Like you said, maybe there's the aspect to it where it's like, of course people want to talk about themselves. It's a dream. But to me, I get to listen to people all day. Like, that's, you know how fucking awesome that is for me? Like, I get to vicariously live through other people about the project and things that I like. So that... I
misheard you. I thought you said, I like to bi-curiously listen to people.
I'm not bi-curious. I am bi-confident. Like... That's
good.
Yeah. But yeah, so... That's all I'm doing. This is the passion that I have, and this is me acting out this passion, and sometimes it's something else, and just a little guy.
I don't know. It's my birthday.
I hope that's a good enough answer for that question.
That's some good wisdom.
But yeah, I think I don't believe I have anything else. I appreciate you spending so much time with me today, chatting with me about stuff. I'll take care of everything else. I'll send you the raw files, and just so you have them, you know, yourself, and know what you said. And if I like to give this opportunity because people are fucking weird about these things. Yeah. So.
Yeah. See, the power in the orb is how you react. No spell, no scroll defines your impact. Sometimes the universe flips up the script, so if your orb turns off, baby, just don't even trip.
I just gotta say, this is me just being like, I love this thing. I love this thing that you're doing.
Everyone look up my new Wizard fucking album that's coming out in August.
You better...
That I just decided I'm making now.
You better go all in on your music. All I gotta say is that, like, it's going to be, when you're building an audience on a platform that you're working on, You got to start from scratch on every different platform that you get on. I've deleted multiple platforms of mine. I've had upwards of 15,000 followers on Instagram, and I deleted that shit just because fucking Mark Zuckerberg's a fascist. But
I had 50,000 followers on a Tumblr that was based on Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and I had to delete it because I found out that later in the series there's a fucking pedophile character. It's horrible. It was the worst moment of my life. I was inconsolable. That was like a rake in my face, but like, I don't know. That was like that was the single worst moment of my life, I think, is just realizing that a premise as cool as gay dragons got fucked up by anime fuckers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm ending the recording.
All right. I will catch you later. Thank you. I'll see you. Huh?